This is wild-caught Michigan lake trout, the state fish of Michigan. I'm going to be a bit cautious here, because even though this is a natural wild-caught fish, the Great Lakes are known to have a lot of contaminants now. You take precautions by stripping off all the fat that you can and grilling it so more of the fat drips out, because it's got a lot of PCBs and dioxins and that kind of thing in there. Unfortunately, now we have the new PFAS forever chemicals. PFAS cannot be removed in any way. That is known anyways. So, I'm eating this natural fish that you would think would be good for you, but it's not. So I'm going to take just a little bit of it to say I did. And I'll counteract it with this. Purple potatoes. Why purple potatoes? Because there's a group of people that live over in Japan on some island that live over 100 years old. And they eat these purple roots. So health stores have been selling stuff that's made out of purple juice because they think that's going to make you live longer. They're not taking into account that those people also eat natural, non-toxic fish out of the ocean and spend their day working on their personal farms. It's probably not the purple vegetables that they eat. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to eat purple potatoes. And for dessert, a half a banana. Because a full banana is too much for me. And I need bananas because they help fight leg cramps. And when you get to be my age, at night, those things kind of surprise you. Now, I'll try a little bit plain, but I'm also going to adorn it with this, my own homemade tartar sauce. Now, I am a plain kind of a guy. I like just the basics. When I go to the ice cream store, vanilla, greatest flavor ever invented. Same thing with fish condiments. I typically like just plain mayonnaise. But if I'm going to have some kind of a extra level of flavor, I make my own tartar sauce, because the stuff that you buy in the squeeze bottle or the jars just doesn't cut it. That stuff's awful. Half the restaurants you go to and use their tartar sauce, they've got some weird concoction in there that's just dreadfully awful as well. So I make my own, and it's really simple. Mayonnaise and sweet pickle relish. Try it. You'll find that's the secret ingredients, the basics of every tartar sauce out there. So I grilled this. I'll try to flash a picture up here for you of the grilled with the skin on, but I removed the skin because that's recommended. This is the part along the back. It's less fat than the part along the belly. So we'll eat this chunk here. Lake trout. They are about the oiliest fish I've ever experienced. Now, if you don't know, I'm a taxidermist. I don't do taxes. I don't drive taxi cabs, but I take dead animals and skin them and mount them on the wall so they look alive again. The word taxi, I think it's Latin for movement, and dermis is Latin for skin. So it means moving or adjusting the skin on a mannequin. That's what the word taxidermist, the root origin of that word is. As a taxidermist, though, I've worked with a lot of animals, a lot of fish, and by far, the oiliest, greasiest fish there is, that I know of, is a lake trout. You could literally take one of these fish, dry it out, stand it on end, propped up somewhere on the beach, touch a match to it, and use it as a torch. They are that oily and flammable. They also have a rather repugnant smell as far as I'm concerned. They don't give off the odor of, hey, that's good food over there. But I will say, when you bite into them, it all changes. Now, this one, I've done some extra grilling to allow more of the fat to drip off, because I'd rather not be a reservoir for PFAS and all the other permanent, forever toxins that we have out there now. So it's going to be a bit dry. So I'll take just a little bite-sized chunk like that. Looks like fish. It's a bit spongy because I took so much of the oil out. I gotta say, it tastes a lot like cod, actually. We'll try a little of this. Maybe a lot of this. It's like frosting on the donut. Wow. That's amazing. So, I grilled the bejesus out of this and took almost all the fat out. So that gets rid of all the dioxins, or much of the dioxins, and the PCBs. But it doesn't get rid of the PFAS. So a lot of the taste is lost when you do that. It brings it back down to plain old store-bought fish, which is still pretty good. But when you put my recipe of tartar sauce back on this, if you're a sauce lover, oh man, it brings all the flavor and more back into it. It really is a synergy of complementary flavors. Oh, yeah. Mm. Wow. Here, we'll try some of the tail end here. The tail end. That's a bit more grilled. I like stuff that's a little bit more well done anyway. There's a definite difference between lake trout and rainbow trout or salmon. You know, there's a lot more oil in lake trout than there is rainbow trout. It's a slight gamey oil. I've heard the word earthy. I don't know if I want to go that far, but earthy to me is a bit cadaver-like. And it's certainly not like that. But it's a definite taste difference. I think it's a touch of the wild is what's in it. Because they don't farm raise these things. They don't put them, raise them in ponds. You don't catch them in the sea. They pretty much come from the big lakes, the Great Lakes, and some of the bigger inland lakes. Well, there's a definite uniqueness to lake trout. Well, now that I've absorbed probably more than my share of toxins, I'm going to offset it with some of my purple baked potatoes. Actually, those are baked and smashed. And I've topped it with French sea salt. What is that? Soleil de Fleur. French sea salt. It adds a little bit of aesthetic value. And it tastes like salt. Looks a lot like black bean dip. Smells a bit sweeter though. If you've never tried purple potatoes, it takes a bit of adjustment, because when your eye sees something that looks like black bean paste mixed with crushed raisins, it's expecting something like that. It's not expecting the mild taste of a baked potato. So you wonder what's going wrong here. Where is what I expected and it didn't show up? But once you adjust, these things are really good. They tend to be buttery and creamy, although I tend to add butter. But they do have a creaminess about them, and it's really unique. And who knows if there is any truth to the eating purple vegetables helps your longevity. It may pay off in the long run. Well, I guess I'll finish it with my half a banana dessert, because the sun has gone down and it's soon time to hit the sack. I don't want to wake up screaming in the middle of the night with leg cramps. Nor does Mrs. Funny Guy. Tartar sauce and bananas. We'll see how that goes. Wow, who would have thought? A new discovery. Bananas frosted with tartar sauce. Soon to be a new hit. Wow. Well, remember, if it does become a hit, remember, you saw it first here on The Funny Guy. So there it is. Wild Michigan lake trout. Absolutely just okay. Thanks for watching.